You probably imagine Victorian London as a city of dignified permanence. Stone statues, grand bridges, institutions that feel immovable. We picture it as confident, ordered, and civilized. But the data tells a different story. In the year 1850, London was none of those things. It was a chaotic biological experiment, the largest city the world had ever known, growing faster than its own limits could sustain. Smoke replaced the sky. Noise replaced silence. Human lives were compressed into spaces never meant to contain them. This was not a capital at rest. It was a machine running hot, fast, and dangerously close to explosion. London was no longer simply a place to live. It was a system, and everyone inside it was part of the mechanism. Let me show you what it actually meant to live here at the precise moment the modern city was being forged. You're watching AI Go Back, resurrecting history one frame at a time. If you value detailed archives like this, consider subscribing to support the Reconstruction. We begin our reconstruction at dawn in London, 1850. Morning arrives slowly beneath a suffocating ceiling of fog and coal smoke. The sun is present, but distant, a pale disk filtering through layers of haze produced by thousands of chimneys already awake. This is the London particular. A smog so thick it tastes metallic on the tongue, coats the throat and stings the eyes. This smoke is not accidental weather. It is the visible output of progress. Horse-drawn carts grind across uneven cobblestone streets, their iron wheels echoing between tightly packed buildings. The sound is a constant, low-frequency roar. Factory whistles slice through the damp air, sharp and unavoidable. They are not reminders. They are commands. Gas lamps still glow faintly even as daylight struggles to assert itself. The smell is immediate and inescapable. A mixture of burning coal, damp stone, raw sewage, and human density packed into every breath. This city did not evolve gently over centuries. It surged forward all at once, a biological shock to the system. London has crossed the threshold of 2 million people, and the flow has not slowed. Families arrive daily from the countryside, driven by collapsing rural economies and the promise of industrial wages. Some find steady work. Many find overcrowding, illness, and instability instead. The city absorbs them anyway. We move east. Welcome to the East End. Here, the costs of industrial growth are impossible to ignore. Streets narrow into claustrophobic arteries. Buildings lean inward, blocking out the sky, stacked with families living room by room, floor by floor. Entire households occupy single spaces never designed for permanent habitation. Privacy is non-existent. Noise is constant. Disease moves easily through these walls. Children are everywhere, but they are not playing. Many are already laborers. Some haul loads along the docks that would break an adult's back. Others clean factory machinery while it continues to run, their small bodies fitting into gears where adults cannot reach. Childhood here is brief, practical, and often dangerous. Inside textile workshops, the air is thick with cotton fibers that settle deep into lungs. In tanneries and slaughterhouses, blood and waste mix with the mud underfoot. Cholera, typhus, and tuberculosis move faster than any government reform effort. Death is not hidden here. It is routine. This is not a malfunction of the Victorian system. It is one of its inputs. The East End does not collapse under pressure. It sustains the city. Threaded through this environment is the River Thames. Once a lifeline of trade and transport, by 1850 it has become a slow-moving channel of contamination. Industrial waste pours in from upstream factories. Sewage flows directly from thousands of homes into the water. The river darkens, thickens, smells, and yet people still drink from it. They wash in it. They have little choice. In summer, the stench becomes unbearable. Within a decade, it will overwhelm Parliament itself during what history will call the Great Stink. But in 1850, the warning signs are already present, acknowledged, discussed, and largely tolerated. The Thames reflects the truth of industrial London. Essential, overburdened, and quietly poisoning the city that depends on it. If this immersion changes your perspective on the era, a like helps us continue these investigations. Now cross the city westward. The transformation is immediate. Streets widen, buildings breathe, the air clears slightly, the roar of industry softens into a polite hum. This is the West End. Here, wealth functions as insulation. Elegant townhouses line clean streets behind iron railings. Servants move discreetly through rear entrances, invisible to the masters they serve. Clean water is accessible. Food is reliable. Illness feels distant, a problem for other people. Carriages roll toward theaters and gentlemen's clubs. Gaslight glows warmly against polished stone. Conversations revolve around empire, science, morality, and progress. Victorian society believes deeply in hierarchy, not just economic but moral. Poverty is often framed as a failure of character. Wealth is viewed as proof of discipline and virtue. The system reassures itself by insisting outcomes are deserved. The same city contains two realities, separated not by distance but by class. But regardless of your station, work dominates every waking hour. Factories operate from dawn until nightfall. Steam engines power looms, presses, and mills at speeds no human body was designed to endure. Workers adapt or break. Injuries are common. Limbs are lost to the gears. Compensation is rare. Replacement labor is always available. Time itself changes here. Factory clocks regulate life. Bells dictate arrival, meals, and departure. For the first time in history, time is standardized, enforced, and monetized. London no longer moves with the sun. It moves with schedules. Life becomes measured in shifts. Railways tear through neighborhoods like steel incisions. Iron tracks connect London to the rest of Britain, collapsing distance and accelerating everything. Goods, people, ideas. To build them, entire communities are displaced, their homes demolished to make room for the lines. Terminals rise like cathedrals of movement. Locomotives hiss and roar, shaking the ground beneath passing trains. The city becomes louder, faster, less forgiving. London is now fully industrial and fully dependent on systems no single person understands or controls. Despite the suffering, the belief in progress remains powerful. Engineers propose solutions once considered impossible. Journalists expose conditions in slums. Reformers push for sanitation, labor laws, and education. Beneath the streets, massive sewer systems are being planned, an invisible revolution that will eventually save countless lives. Clean water slowly becomes a public expectation rather than a luxury. Medicine improves, literacy spreads, awareness grows. Change does not arrive quickly, but it arrives. Victorian London does not collapse under its contradictions. It adapts to them. As evening settles in, the city does not rest. Gas lamps flare back to life, illuminating streets still dense with movement. Factories release their workers, flooding alleys and courtyards with exhausted bodies. Pubs fill rapidly, offering warmth, alcohol, and a temporary escape from the relentless routine. Stories are shared, grievances aired. Tomorrow's labor already hangs over every conversation. The Thames continues its slow passage through the city, carrying waste downstream. Smoke lingers low in the air. London breathes shallowly, but it breathes. This reconstruction reveals a city stripped of nostalgia, a place of opportunity built on exhaustion, a society obsessed with order yet powered by instability, a capital forged not through comfort, but through pressure. London in 1850 was not complete. It was under construction, and inside that industrial machine, millions of ordinary people lived lives of endurance, shaping the systems, cities, and assumptions that define the modern world. This was not the golden age. It was the furnace.